Hey guys, behind Star Wars here. So we finally got some new Star Wars The Last Jedi footage a few months after the last trailer that we got, and I'm just going to jump straight in here doing a bit of a breakdown, things you might have missed, Easter eggs kind of video. There's going to be a discussion of spoilers that have already come out surrounding the film, so if you don't want anything ruined for you, don't continue. So this scene here, this little one here, I think this actually isn't Skellig Michael. I think this is the set that they built nearby, I think on the Dingle Peninsula. We saw set photos from behind the scenes about a year ago now. Obviously they didn't want to film on Skellig Michael. It's a heritage site, it's 1,000 years old or whatever it is. So they built their own version of Ahch-To nearby. Assumingly they're going to have a fight scene there, or they're going to blow it up or something. Just quickly, I wanted to actually mention this little bit here where we can see an R2-D2 prop being lowered down through the Ahch-To set. Actually, what's interesting about this is that obviously it's not completely animatronic. You can see inside it still has space for an actor. Now, obviously, Kenny Baker died last summer, but it's just really nice to see that they're actually continuing the tradition of having R2-D2 be a manned prop rather than just, a robot. Now this is really interesting. The new vehicles that we're seeing out of Star Wars Episode 8, they all seem to be very reminiscent of cars, maybe even from the 50s or the 70s, from the Jetsons and things like that, and I'm really liking this new bombastic take on Star Wars vehicles. These ones that we can see here, they're very reminiscent. They might even be the same as some of the leaked pictures of cars that we saw from the Dubrovnik set. Dubrovnik, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but in Croatia. And this is all from the new casino planet, which I believe is called Canto Bight. And everything we're seeing is very, very new. I mean, if you listen to what John Boyega's been saying, what Daisy Ridley's been saying, even what Adam Driver's been saying, everyone seems to be emphasising that, this is really taking risks, the story's going places that fans would never have expected, and this really seems to be the new narrative. If you think back to The Force Awakens, the narrative was that, they have practical sets and basically distancing themselves from the prequels, and, whatever your opinion on The Force Awakens or on that whole narrative of practical sets and all that sort of thing, The Force Awakens made a lot of money, and it was a success with critics overall as well. So if this is their new narrative, that expect the unexpected sort of thing, I can dig that. I mean, from what I'm seeing, especially from the casino planet and stuff like that, it definitely seems to be that Star Wars Episode 8 is treading on some new territory when it comes to Star Wars. So now to Crate, and Crate is the planet that we've seen in the trailer a few months ago, the kind of salt flats planet. I think they filmed somewhere in South America for this actually. It may even have been Chile, may have been Argentina, I'd have to make sure on that. But what's interesting about Crate now is what we're seeing of this kind of red liquid that lurks under the surface of the salt flats on this planet. I know when Making Star Wars was the first guy to describe this planet, he described it as sort of Mars with snow on top, which seems quite accurate actually. And what's really interesting now is that we're seeing more of this red liquid that lurks under the surface. Now, spoilers, Making Star Wars has actually revealed that in this battle between these air speeders and these walkers, what the speeders are actually trying to do is they're trying to lift crystals, I believe, out of underneath the surface of this planet where this red liquid is. And basically they're going to pick up these crystals, they're going to, slam it down on these walkers to defeat them. I don't know, who wins in the end, and I don't really want to know, to be honest. While we're on the subject of Crate, we also see footage briefly of Poe. I don't know if it's Oscar Isaac or if it's his stunt double, but it's obviously Poe, and he's obviously on Crate. So it's nice to see that he's there. This lines up with some of the Lego leaks that we've seen. And then, of course, Rey with Finn. So what it's starting to look like now is that Crate is going to be, the final battle in the film. It's going to be the climax of the film. This is particularly backed up by Rey's new robes, which I actually really like. They're very Jedi-y without being too Jedi-y, and that obviously reconciles with the title of the film. They differ from the beginning of the film, which is obviously Ahch-To. This is obviously the end of the film. You just get that feeling that this is where everything comes together. This is where Finn, Rey, all the main characters, Kylo Ren, whoever, come together for one final battle, and it looks like it's going to be on this planet Crate, which has also been rumoured to be a former Resistance or even Rebellion base. I think it's actually a Rebellion base from the Galactic Civil War era that's being repurposed by the Resistance or something along those lines. And yeah, this looks like it's going to be the final battle with those new guerrilla walkers fighting against these kind of airspeedery things. We don't know what they are just yet. Rey's going to be there. We've seen her in the Lego sets as well. Some people were speculating that maybe it was a fantasy battle sort of thing, but no, it looks like she is actually on Crate. It looks like everyone's on Crate, to be honest, including General Hux. So yeah, Crate, really exciting. So we also get our first look at Rey handing the lightsaber over to Luke Skywalker. I mean, everyone's wanted to see this scene. I wonder if this is how it does play out. She just places it in his hands, or whether he uses the Force or whatever, but obviously it's probably going to look something like this. Really interesting. I think everyone just wants to know what happens next at this point. You know, I doubt we're going to see it in any sort of trailer, so we're going to have to wait till December. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing this in the cinemas. So we also see Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley training against multiple enemies. And this is really interesting. I mean, with the Praetorian Guards, which have now been revealed in a number of kind of leaks, the kind of question that fans are asking at the moment is what has happened to the Knights of Ren? I mean, are we going to see them, or have they been completely replaced with these Praetorian Guards, or are the Praetorian Guards, are they actually the Knights of Ren just wearing, you know, this weird kind of new red armour? No one really knows, but it looks like Rey might be coming up against them, or maybe even Kylo Ren, you know, kills Snoke's bodyguards, if that's who they really are. No one really knows what's going to happen here, but what's interesting is just that Adam Driver's definitely training against multiple enemies, and it looks like Daisy Ridley is too, but this is really interesting if it means that we're going to have big battles rather than, you know, I mean, I'm sure we're going to have one-on-one lightsaber battles, but it really is exciting if we're going to have, you know, Rey versus multiple enemies, Kylo Ren versus multiple enemies, when they can really prove how strong they are. So we also get a look at the new B-Wing. We actually saw this in those behind-the-scenes pictures when Prince Harry and Prince William visited the set, and we also got a look at it in the trailer, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the best of angles, and it was very quick. But now we actually get to see the new B-Wing in all its glory. It's quite reminiscent actually of the old B-Wing, but it looks a bit more prequely, if that makes sense. I'm digging the design actually, and I'm hoping that we get more than just, you know, X-Wings versus TIE Fighters in this new sequel trilogy. No one really wants it to be a rehash, and this is promising. So we also get our first kind of look at Finn waking up. It looks like it's actually John Boyega kind of showing to the crew how he's going to shoot the scene. That's what it looks like anyway, and from the trailer, you know, we've already seen him in his kind of it's not really a back to tank, but he's in a coma-like state, and what it almost looks like is that this is the same ship that we see getting attacked by Captain Phasma. So what I think happens, again this is speculation, is that, you know, this film comes under attack, you know, alarms are going off, blah blah blah, it wakes Finn up early, and he's, you know, he's not at full strength, but he finds his way to escape. And then he runs into Kelly Marie Tran's character Rose around this time. She's a cleaner for the Resistance. Maybe she even helps save him. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen for this scene. But it's just really cool to finally see Finn waking up, and hopefully we get to see more of this scene soon. So we've already seen Kylo Ren's new scar, but this is by far the best quality that we've seen it in. About a month ago, Rian Johnson was replying to a tweet about Kylo Ren's scar, where he actually admitted that they had to move it because the scar, if it lined up with what we saw at the end of The Force Awakens, it just looked a bit off. So they've moved his scar. It's very, you know, thin, but I actually like the look of it. I'm happy they didn't go with the kind of huge scar that you see on a lot of enemies, like in Lion King or something, and it's quite subtle, and I like it. And I think combined with his new dress sense, I actually like Kylo Ren's look in this film more than I do in Episode 7. Oh, we also get to see George Lucas on set. I'm only joking. So I just wanted to talk quickly about this scene actually. It looks almost like Rey's hair is a bit wet in this scene. I don't know if it's just me, but this kind of lines up with the scenes we've seen that are being shot by Rian Johnson actually in water. We've seen Rey running, obviously, on Ahch-To. Maybe she's running towards something in the water. It's been speculated that she might actually have to fight a sea monster to prove herself to Luke Skywalker and the Porgs. Can't leave out the Porgs. Yeah, so she may have to fight a sea monster. That might be why she's wet. Could be really interesting. Some people have said that the sea monster might be Anakin Skywalker reincarnated or something. That's absolute bullshit. But yeah, really looking forward to this scene, and you know, her hair kind of matches up with those rumours. This shot is so good. I just can't wait to see Canto Bight. I cannot wait for this casino planet. I cannot wait for Benicio del Toro. I assume his character, by the look of him, is on this planet. I might be wrong. He might be, you know, the owner of the casino or something. I'm just really looking forward to seeing the upper classes of Star Wars, you know, the kind of Monaco of Star Wars, the elites, what they're doing. You know, I want to see how sleazy they are. We haven't really seen it that much in the Star Wars universe. We've seen Coruscant, but we've not really seen these really sleazy elite kind of characters. And it looks like we're going to get our eyes on them, and I just can't wait. And finally guys, just while we're on the subject of Canto Bight, we actually get our first proper look at the Space Force in Star Wars Episode 8. I think Making Star Wars leaked their name. They're called Falvias, I don't know how to pronounce it. According to Making Star Wars, there's this kind of scene where Rose and Finn run into a jockey who's racing the Space Horse, and they basically steal it from him to get away from whoever they're running away from. Sounds amazingly interesting, and in terms of the prop of the Space Horse, or the Falvia, whatever it's called, it just looks so realistic. It looks amazing. I mean, that just looks great, and it just makes me even more excited for this film, that we've got space jockeys and space horses, and that things are this different. I'm just really excited in Rian Johnson's vision. So yeah guys, if there's anything really obvious that I've missed, just comment below. Overall, I'm really happy with this sizzle reel. It's looking so different from what we've seen before. That's everything that I wanted from Star Wars Episode 8. Feeling really optimistic at the moment, and yeah, thanks for watching.